Well, a deal did go down about an hour ago. Go look around, see which way the wind blow. A little girl in a Hollywood bungalow. A lot of lost in your city at night. City at night, yeah. City at night. City at night, LA woman, LA woman, LA woman's gonna have to do. LA woman's gonna have to do. Got there's a boo in the old blues, yeah, in the old blues, Mr. Bojo Rising. Yeah, hi. Saturday afternoon, or yeah, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Or I don't know. Is this considered early evening? Quitting time, right? Anyway, yeah, I was just fooling around with some shit rolling around in my head, some doors. I don't know, came across the riff. I go, oh, isn't that from that song? Blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, Bob Seger. I love Bob Seger. Great songwriter. Love his stuff, right? There's a lot of good shit out there. Um, yeah, man, I noticed I had my tuner still attached to the guitar. That is the ugliest, tackiest thing ever. I mean, every time I see somebody with a tuner attached to their guitar, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I understand you got to tune your guitar. You got to make sure it's in tune, but do you really got to leave that thing there? This eyesore, it looks like shit. There's better looking ones. I mean, I have a little TC Electronic, a little flat one. That one. I like it. You know why? Because I take it off the guitar. Okay, I put it in my pocket when I need to tune up. If I'm far away from my tuner, then I clip that on real quick. I turn around and tune the guitar. Then I shove it back in my pocket, man. Nobody needs to see your thing. It's like, yeah, do you brush your teeth and then do you go outside walking around town with your toothbrush sticking out of your mouth? I don't think so. Doesn't look cool, right? This shit don't look cool either. It looks stupid. So stop doing that. If you leave your tuner on your guitar, you're a dweeb. Period. Anyway, enough of that. Hey, man, I don't know if you've heard, but in Santa Cruz, we've had some like crazy weather. And this is old news, for us local folks, but I didn't mention, we had a fucking tornado and touched down in Scotts Valley a couple weeks ago. And it did some damage, a tornado. In California, tornadoes, come on, man. And I heard there was like another one, there was like another warning or something recently, like today or something. I saw maybe somebody's talking shit, but I don't know. It's crazy shit going on. End of the world type shit, right? Nah, I don't buy into that. But there's other shit, like we had our wharf, Santa Cruz Municipal Wharf, pretty famous wharf. It's been around forever. I don't know, 100 years or whatever. It's a big wharf. There's lots of restaurants and shops and bars and places to hang out and places to eat, and you can fish off of it. You could drive your car out there, and there's parking on it. There's a lot of parking, and on like busy weekends and shit, man, you could spend a half hour trying to get back to the main road, just trying to get off the damn thing, right? Sitting in traffic. Because they got a little toll thing you pay for your parking as you're exiting. I think what they ought to do is just charge you a flat rate, charge you as you come in. That way when you leave, you're just jamming out, instead of holding up traffic. I don't know. There's a better way to do a lot of things, but, don't ask me. Anyway, we lost the end of the wharf. We had some heavy surf, big waves and shit. And we call that heavy surf. And it was beating up the wharf, you know what I mean? And the end part of the wharf wasn't as big or wide or as sturdy as the main structure, which connects to the land and where all the big shops and all the parking is. I mean, that's a pretty beefy part of the wharf. But this other end pieces, like where the public restrooms were at the very end, and it was like a panhandle section of the wharf, where it just reduced down in size. Probably went out about, I don't know, 30, 50 feet, somewhere in there, or longer, maybe 100 feet. I don't know. But that whole section, man, including the restroom structure, it was like a building. Fucking right into the water, man. Blam! Fucking debris and shit everywhere. Somebody got killed from the debris, I heard. Somebody surfing or something. A couple days later, it ended up washing up on what I call the rock that separates the boardwalk from, it used to be Castle Beach, but Seabright Beach. There's like a rock, a cliff area. It washed up there because the water's shallow. At the river mouth, river comes in right there too, San Lorenzo River. And yeah, just, it sat there for a day or two, and then, construction crews, it came with a backhoe or whatever and just demolished it and took all the crap out, and now it's gone. But not before some taggers climbed on that thing and started tagging it, spray painting it, and crazy shit, man. They could have got killed out there. I don't know if it was anchored or washed up on the shore by the rock, but they got on there and tagged that son of a bitch, man. Funniest thing. If I come across some pictures, maybe I'll, post it. But yeah, weird weather out here on the West Coast, man. And the fucking mayor, Santa Cruz, he they're saying, and all the authorities, well, the reason why they didn't make provisions to secure the wharf or maintain it properly is because they didn't want to interrupt or interfere with the nesting of the seagulls that nest underneath that thing or whatever. Fucking seagulls, really? Flying rats is what those are. Okay, they shit everywhere. They're pesky. There's millions of them, and you're worried about their nesting. They can go find somewhere else to fucking nest. Where'd they nest before the wharf? It didn't seem to cause extinction of the fucking seagulls. I'll tell you that much. All right. So there's that mentality. This Santa Cruz mentality, we'll call it. And the mayor's talking about they don't want to possibly. They're thinking maybe they don't need to repair it because think of the global warming. I mean, this is going to be like normal now. This is all caused by global warming. Get a fucking grip. Global warming. I'm so sick of that catchphrase. It's global bullshit is what it is. We've been having various weather since the beginning of time. Remember, there used to be an ice age. You want to talk about global warming? It's been going on since the ice age. That's why there's no more ice. That's why there's no more ice age, right? Because of global warming. This is what, a new onset, a new varying degree of global warming. Give me a fucking break. Everybody should just play guitar, not worry about global warming. Bullshit. Have a beer while you're at it. You know what I was listening to today? I was listening to some really good music. I try to listen to really good music all the time. And there's a lot of good music out there, Everybody has their tastes, and that's fantastic. That's what makes it beautiful, right? Everybody has varying tastes, and otherwise everybody would be listening to the same shit, man. That would drive me nuts, and you would just get sick of everything. But with all this, so much to choose from. I was listening to the Alan Parsons Project. Are you familiar? They had this album called I, Robot. And a great song came on entitled I Wouldn't Want to Be Like You. And let me tell you, man, that is such a kick. They don't, there's not bands like that anymore, That song kicks ass. If you haven't heard it, look it up. The Alan Parsons Project, I, Robot's the album. The song's called I Wouldn't Want to Be Like You. If I had my computer handy, I do actually. Maybe I'll pull it up on the old YouTube. Break out the old laptop here. See if I can find it. But yeah, great song, right? There's a couple of good songs on there. Actually, the whole album, the whole record kicks ass. It's kind of like a story about some robot that becomes aware, and it's like artificial intelligence. But this was, this album came out, I think, in '76, right around there, 1976. Let me log in here. Get my credentials. Thank God it's not asking me for, like, 4-step, 3-step verification. I'm just sick of that, Like, I try to log into Google stuff, and it's like, it wants to verify that I'm the one that put my password in. It's like, yeah, well, I got the fucking password, I mean, it's me. It's my device. Do you recognize it? No, there's some dude imitating me who's Bluetooth to my brain that stole my fucking password so he can Google something on the internet. Like, what the fuck? Stupid. More stupidity. No, more stupidity. I mean, all those guys at Google should learn how to play fucking guitar, It'd be an easier world. Where's my YouTube link? Speaking of Google, Jesus. Well, I'm going to have to do it the other way. Yes. Oh, yeah, no, you're not going to get my password. Google just now popped a little pop-up. It says, Google password required. Nah. No thanks. I ain't got time for that shit. Who's got time to triple verify something, man? I don't. I don't enjoy it. I think it's stupid. There's other ways. Alan Parsons, Eye in the Sky. That's another good. Oh, Eye in the Sky. Great record. Where's iRobot? Maybe I gotta. You got everything else but that on here. Come on, man. That's like one of the better up records. Okay, let me back up. I'm going to have to put more info in there because, Google. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, here's the song. I found the song. But now I probably have to wait for some goddamn commercial to go by. Yeah, of course. An ad pops up, right? So, I'll skip that because I can. It gives me the option. Here we go. Can you hear that? It's a great song. The bass starts it off. With some keyboards. With some vibes on there in stereo. It's beautiful. Then the guitar kind of creeps in with this B. Hear it? This whole thing kicks ass, man. It comes in with like this really cool, funky. I wouldn't want to be like you. Great song, man. Whoa, I don't care. God, I love that thing. I love that song. That was the first time I heard it back when I was a kid, like 15 years old, whatever. I thought it was beautiful, beautifully written. It's a great song. I mean, I listen to it now as an adult, as a guitar player, and what a great production, Beautiful production. The mix is unreal. I mean, just subtleties, the guitars and it's a great guitar solo in that thing, man. Let me see if I can fast track to that, man. You got to hear that. It's melodic. It's a guitar solo you can whistle, right? I mean, fucking beautiful. And there's people out there still making music like this, believe it or not, I mean, one could say they just don't write songs like this and they don't make music like this anymore. This guy does. This guy right here, Tom Bukovac. This is one guitar playing motherfucker, man. Let me tell you, songwriter. You know, I heard Dan Huff. I don't know if you're familiar with Dan Huff. He's a record producer, killer guitar player in his own right. He says Tom Bukovac is like a painter. And there's not, that's such a great description of this guy. Tom Bukovac. This is one of his solo records. It's called Plexi Soul. You got to get this. This is a great instrumental. This is like a guitar instrumental album. And it's not a flurry of guitar masturbation. There's no guitar masturbation on this, okay? There's no senseless shredding. This is a different type of shredding. This is more like beheading, okay? This is music. This is fucking guitar music. This is beautiful, all right? There's other stuff he does too. He's got another record called In Stereo, which he does with Guthrie Trapp. Another phenomenal guitar player, right? God, that sounded horrible there. I'm just like, maybe I didn't mean to hit that note. Breathe. I have a bad habit of holding my breath in sometimes when I play. You gotta breathe. Anyway, yeah, The Wharf, Tom Bukovac. I think it's a football game tonight. Steelers. Me and my buddy Ray, we're gonna get together and we're gonna pound a couple of cold ones and we're gonna watch some football. Kind of heartbroken. Yes and no. I mean, I kind of knew my 49ers were gonna stink this year. Don't ask me why. I gave away my tickets to a buddy I work with who's a Lions fan. He took his young boy, 12-year-old son, took him to the game, Lions against the 49ers. And yeah, Lions took care of business. Niners gave him a little bit of a challenge there for the first part of the game, but they just didn't have it in them not this season, like they did last year. They beat them last year in the NFC Championship. But I knew going in this season, they weren't going to be that way again. Dre Greenlaw being hurt, and then Funga missing most of the season. And, Fred Warner, the beast, he can't do it all by himself. When he needs his partner in crime, Dre Greenlaw, take some of the heat off of him, because now they're like double teaming his ass, and they got to watch out for Fred Warner, man, because he's in every play. He's a beast. But anyway, last time I was thinking about, what color pickguard should I put on this? So I got rid of the white one, you know what I mean? And I was thinking of maybe a tortoiseshell or a blackguard. So I was looking for a blackguard, but I wanted to find one without a bevel. You know what I mean? Kind of like an old blackguard, But they didn't make one for a newer style telly, which has the pickup adjustment screws that are accessible. Like the older tellies, these screws are underneath the pickguard. So to adjust it, you just remove the pickguard and you adjust your pickup height, right? And it's easy to do, because you just take out the 8 screws that hold the pickguard on, and the pickup stays in the guitar. It just slides out, and it slides back in, tighten it back up. But this way, you don't even got to do that. You just, like a normal, pickup adjustment, you got the 2 screws here. Anyway, I forget what I was saying. I couldn't find a plastic Blackguard. Oh, because of the holes, the two little holes. That was non-beveled. But I think I found something better, especially for this guitar. Is a black anodized. This is a black aluminum anodized single layer thin pickguard, which cost me the same price as a plastic one, like $16, you know? And it really makes a difference. Well, the Blackguard does on this guitar, because before I thought it was too white, right? And then I was looking at some pictures of white tellies, and then I saw Vince Gill. Vince Gill has a couple really old Rio Blackguards from the 50s that are done on Olympic white telly bodies, which is kind of a rare thing, you know? And I thought, hey, that looks cool. I'm going to do that. That made up my mind. I went with the Vince Gill look, Blackguard on a white telly with a maple neck, you know? And this has got that 50s, 52, 51, whatever they call it. It's like a baseball bat. I mean, it's big. I like that. It's big neck. And it doesn't, I don't have the crazy vintage radius on this. This is a 9.5, where the vintage is 7.5, I think. So it's a little rounder, the vintage one. This is still round. So yeah, there's that. So I got the aluminum pickguard on there. I'm stoked. This guitar is like it's bright. I think it's because of this big fat maple neck. And I don't know, I could swore since I put this aluminum pickguard on, it made the guitar sound brighter. Maybe I'm just imagining that. I don't know, but I think acoustically, if I turn it down, it does seem a little brighter. Remember I told you about my pedal board problems. And I bought this looper, a switching looper, and a new pedal board to redo everything. And then so today I go, I'm going to try this out one more time, just kind of see if I can find the problem, because I was like losing my signal, kind of like, and I got buffers hooked up, and I got an Empress Buffer Plus Empress Buffer Plus. I've had it for a few years, and I haven't used this pedal board since, maybe 2017. Because for a while there, I just stopped using like all these pedals, and I just used I used to take my little Blues Junior to gigs, and now that I have my Blues Junior modified, I'll probably end up doing that again because it sounds even better. But yeah, so anyway, I started using this thing. I added a couple new pedals. But then I had some like intermittent, where I was losing signal. It's like, oh God, I can't figure it out. Well, it ain't doing it now, I don't know what the fuck happened overnight or, the course of a few nights. I checked all the connections. I don't know. But now it's acting normal. And now I spent $600 on this Voodoo Labs 8 channel looper with attaching pedal board. It's called a dingbat, and you get the dingbat and the looper switcher for, I don't know, I got a deal on it. I got almost $100 off from Sweetwater, so I got it for like under $6, right? So with taxes and everything, it was like $5.50. So, and I got this Boss ES8 looper that I bought that I can't figure out. I'm getting rid of that because that, like I said, it's like rocket science. But I'm going to sell that. I'll keep this Voodoo Labs thing. And I'm going to keep it boxed up. Maybe I won't even open it because this thing just might take a shit again. And I might, pull the rest of my hair out that's on my chin trying to figure this shit out. And if I go to that, if that happens, then I'm going to use the looper. At least I'll have it, right? It'll be sitting there on standby, waiting to go. Hopefully I don't have to use it, and my my pedal board woes will be over. She's a good girl, loves her mama. She loves Jesus and football too. I don't know the words, but those are weird lyrics, you know. Tom Petty. Tom Petty's another cool cat, rest his soul. Wrote some good songs, right? There's a lot of great stuff out there. Lots of good stuff. You got to listen to it, okay? You got to listen to it, and you got to, like, especially if it's something you haven't heard in years, right? Because, you know, we grow up, us people. It's true. We get old. And we become wiser, they say. And a big part of that wisdom is, being wise about the music, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff I used to dismiss in my 20s because it wasn't, loud enough, or it wasn't atomic sounding enough, or it wasn't hard rock enough, or whatever, And I listen back to that stuff now, man, and I go, ugh. I missed the fucking boat on that one, man. It's never too late to go back and appreciate it, But think of the influence it could have had on me earlier on, right? If I just would have had an open mind. When you're my generation of guitar players, you had cats like Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, and then poof, all of a sudden Van Halen comes along, and all of us are trying to chase that tail around. Where can I get that sound? I get those licks. I want to play like, I want to be like that. I want to be that hyper, or whatever. Then with Randy Rhoads and Yngwie Malmsteen, and then the whole shredding thing kind of turned into another big fucking mess, right? And there's a lot of good shit came from that too, but as I'm older, I like to listen to music. I appreciate somebody that can be articulate and play scales and arpeggios. I'm not so much into like all the sweeping and shit like that. It's just overdone. All the tapping, noodling and all that stuff. But there's some good stuff that came from that. Some good, little bits and pieces of it are good. But not when you got a record that you're listening to and every song is that way. After the first minute and a half, you heard it all. I'm done. Don't need to listen to anything more, Let me find a slower song on here. Let me find something that's a little different. If you can find it on there, good. In most cases, you can't. So that's why I like this. This is good stuff. I highly recommend it if you're a guitar player and you're tired of the same old shit, It's new, refreshing. The tones and textures. Let me tell you, textures. This is the best stuff I've heard since Eric Johnson came out with Avia Musicom. It's that good. Take my word for it. I know. Okay, I got ears. I play guitar. I know what's good and I know what's bad and I know what's fucking overdone. So it's refreshing to hear some good shit, refreshing. So anyway, there it is. That's it. That's my Saturday rant. I think I've gone on for about a half hour. Probably way more than you probably will only watch about 4 minutes of this. You probably won't even hear me talk about this because you probably had enough of me. So in that case, I'm going to sign off and go watch some football, play a little bit more guitar. I'm not going to worry about my pedal board anymore because I think I got it fixed. So now I'm going to work on maybe learning some new chord voices, which I need to do. So, all right. Everybody have a safe day. If you're playing the guitar, man, hey, keep it up. Turn it up. Keep it up. And piss your neighbors off. And remember what I said about guitar tuner etiquette. Don't play with this on your guitar if you're playing live. If you're at home, who cares, right? No one's looking at you. But when you're on stage and you got this eyesore attached to your axe, you know, like I said earlier in the video, you're a dweeb. Good night.